sometimes I would have to appear in front of my team with a brave and strong face and a strong front. But really, when I get to my office by myself alone, I sit down, I cry because I'm human. Sometimes we think our bosses or our leaders, they have it all. They really don't. There is also a moment of weakness all the time. Napapagod din yan.
Hi everyone, this is Marie Ampeloquio from Radix HR. We are now on another episode of Breaking the Mold. With me is a dream interview because we grew up together in this industry and we went through hell and high water together and apart. Please welcome somebody I admire, a true friend. Please welcome Tonichi Achurra-Parekh. She is the Vice President and Head of Sales and Marketing for a company, the largest BPO employer in the Philippines called Concentrix.
Hello, friend. Thank you naman for that wonderful introduction.
Oh, thank you. No, sabi ko nga, honestly, we went through a lot during our days in the BPO space, and we're still in that space. In fact, a space we love and promote, no?
Yes.
Pero here's an episode about a curiosity that I've always had with you and other strong women.
Mhm.
No? One is, how does a Tonichi Achurra-Parekh manage self-care, family, and your flourishing career?
Actually, Marie talaga.
I know.
Okay, sure. It wasn't always like that. Over the years, you kind of learn how to manage, as you mentioned, kind of learn how to balance it. So there was a phase in my career where I was just focused on work during the
Okay.
early stages of my career. And I knew what I wanted. I wanted to get promoted every year. So that's what I was working on. I guess over the years, it's like, the hierarchy, right? Of
Yes.
your needs.
Yes.
You met that and then you go to the next level.
Yes.
Diba? And so I got to a point where, I was happy with how my career was progressing. I was able to provide for my family, for my children.
Yep.
And then eventually I got to a point where this is an industry that gave me so much.
Yes.
And it was perfect timing when I joined this industry. It was just starting. I felt like I was like a recipient of all the opportunities that was
Wow.
available at the time.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so during that period, I took advantage of all those opportunities.
Right.
But I also got to the point where I realized I want the same opportunities to be available for the future workforce. Kasi it really changed the lives of Filipinos. Yon, I
Wow.
believe in it. Got to a point in my career where I thought, okay, I'm happy where I am. I'm happy with the career progression. I'm happy that I'm able to provide enough for my children.
Right.
And I thought, okay, it's time to give back. And that's how I ended up. I also had very amazing mentors around me, like you.
Correct.
And then, Dan Reyes, ganyan. So I saw how they were so giving and passionate about growing this industry. And that's kind of, what inspired. And that's how I ended up, choosing the path that I took
Wow.
and making sure that I'm able to give more.
Yes. And then goosebumps moment, only because I think as you were talking about it, reminiscing it, a lot of what you said is real to me because I saw it firsthand, Some people might think the pave to your success now came in easy or tama lang ng timpla, but it came with a lot of hard work talaga sobra. Now,
Super.
and with that, the question is, who were the men and women that supported you? Because I love women with ambition.
Mhm.
Diba? Hindi ka naman, honestly, sa people are choosing, baka may path din na you don't have to choose. You can have it all. You need to temper certain, choices din.
Yeah.
But along the way, may mga sumuporta sa'yo. Aside from the mentors, who are they, Tonichi? Kasi ang nanonood sa atin are maybe executives also or maybe up and rising leaders na parang, how did you do it? Is a question.
First of all, you look for the right partner. You look for the right partner in life. Husband, your partner, yung palagi mong kasama, parati mong kasangga. Dapat tama siya. Pag mali, change ka.
Right.
The other thing is, I think you have to, early on, you need to recognize that you cannot do it by yourself. You really need a village. Diba? It could be, a community of women. It could be even my kasambahays. I have so much respect and love for the people who take care of my children because I will never be able to do what I do at work if
Right.
they're not caring for my children the way I want them to be cared for. Diba?
No, I love
That's
what you're
another
saying.
one.
That's
And
another
then,
one, yes.
syempre, there are people who come and go in your life na makikita mo na, oh, that's what I want to be. And then there's others that, okay, that's not what I want to be. There's always a reason why you cross paths with someone. Diba?
Wow.
There's what you learn, what to do and what not to do. Diba?
Right.
Palaging ganun.
Right. Yeah.
And we used to talk about that na, okay,
A lot.
ito, gusto ko ito matutunan.
Yes.
Ito, yan ang hindi ko gagawin pag ano.
Yes.
It's not necessarily bad, but it's not the style that you want for yourself.
And I love it na ina-admit natin there's a village of people
Yeah.
to give back to and to give honor to because talagang hindi natin mararating where we are at without them.
Yes, for sure.
Was there a time in your life na parang you had to choose your heart, sabi nga nila eh. It's either you choose your family, you cannot live without, or a career who's providing, for the family. So, dumating ba yun sa puntong ganun?
Alam mo, friend, everyday naman, di ba? It's everyday. I used to always say that there was somebody who said, he was asked a question, do you believe that women can have it all? And the person's response was, yes, but not all at the same time. So I made a mental note of that because I thought, tama, no?
Ganda.
Why would you want to have everything all at the same time? And then I was watching another conversation with Claire. She's my friend from Concentrix. She described it perfectly. Every day you disappoint someone. For example, you have an important client meeting that you have to, where you have to be.
Okay.
So you choose to be there. And at the same time, there's a program in your daughter's school and you can't go because this is such an important client meeting. You're successful at work, but you fail in your daughter's eyes. And then there are days na, come hell or high water, I will go to my daughter's school kasi aawardan siya. And
Right.
then you have another client meeting. You fail at work. Pero,
Galing.
superstar ka sa... It's something that you just need to accept na hindi pwedeng palagi bida ka.
Diba? Talagang na-humanize mo yung... And when you said kanina every day, I was thinking where you will bring that point.
Yes.
Pero tama eh.
It's every day.
It's every day. Those tiny choices are not tiny at all, but it helps you both sa side and family when you choose certain activities, events, and important milestones. And then when you do choose a day, to choose work.
Yeah. It's like today, a classic example.
Okay.
On my way, when I was about to leave, eksakto naman, naabutan ko yung kids ko when they got home from school. And I was getting ready and Clara said, Mom, where are you going? I said, I'm going to work. And then she said, but this is your work too, right, Mom? This is Clara's your work too, right?
Oh my God.
Yes.
She said.
Yeah. So I said, but I will be back for you.
Tama.
Give me a few hours and I'll be back. And you kind of think, over the years, they'll understand it. That's for sure naman. That's the good thing about kids.
Yes.
As long as you continue to explain to them, they will get it.
Right. No, I mean, marami ng a little mind-blowing yung you can't have it all, but you can have it one at a time.
Yes.
And then yun nga, this thing that we're going through in life, you make choices every day.
Yes, every day.
No one has said it that
it's
succinctly.
It's every day.
It is every day.
Imagine, even when I'm working at home,
yes,
I have a meeting,
right.
dinner time. Gutom sila. Alam naman sabihin ko, kumain kayo pagtapos ng meeting ko. Siyempre, hindi. So, they will eat. They will eat without me because I'm having a meeting. That's a choice. Alangan naman, i-press ko yung end call at tumakbo. It's really every day that and every moment you make those choices.
Right.
Diba?
Pero sometimes, isn't it that some of the choices might mount into a certain degree of discomfort? Meron ka bang ginagawa na it might turn out to be like a burnout situation for you? How do you know when you are treading towards that path and what do you do about it?
So, I was just coaching somebody last night about that.
Okay.
And most of the time, it's self-inflicted. Sino ba nagsabi sa'yong magpaka-superhero ka? Wala naman, di ba?
Self-inflicted.
It's
okay.
Self-inflicted.
Okay.
Because there's certain expectations, right? At work and at home.
Tama.
Pero, sino ba nagsabi na kailangan ikaw lahat yun? Hindi, ikaw din. You're the one who created that kind of standard for yourself.
God.
And so I think when you get to a point where you learn how to accept, and when you're surrounded with people who you can talk to about these things, you're the same people that will support na take it easy.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if you're not talking to anybody,
Right.
there's no other, for example, women around you who will say, that's okay, it won't be in your mind and you will get burnt out. I kid you not. I go through burnouts. Sometimes like I'm just so exhausted.
Right.
And who did that
Right.
to you? Me. I did that to me.
Okay.
Diba?
Oo.
It's like you also need to remind yourself that who did that, diba? You
Right.
can't pace yourself. It's
Right.
you. It's your.
Ang ganda kasi sometimes you hear people whining and they actually complain. Tapos puto ng complaint nila, it's like, the company, my boss, my geto. I mean, there's 1,000 reasons, but your finger still pointed outward than inward. No, what did you do about it?
Yeah,
Oo.
that's true. But I guess I say this now because I'm at a stage in my career and maybe I'm at a stage financially.
Yes.
I feel like I have enough.
Tama.
So I'm blessed, diba?
Right.
You have enough. There's not too much pressure that you have to do this. You have to work multiple things. You need to get promoted. You need to earn more money. You need to get a raise and all of that. Because until you feel you have enough,
Tama.
is when you will be able to pause and say, I can take a break.
Right. Pero Tonichi, before you came to this stage,
Yes,
my God, I know you then.
Yes.
The years of experience you had managing amazing set of clients, ang lalaki ng brand nito. These are Fortune 1000 brands
Yes.
around the world. So hindi siya biro, because they're very demanding as well.
Yeah.
So before you reach now of comfort, it was also paved with a lot of
Oh my goodness.
challenges.
Yes, and you know that.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes I would have to appear in front of my team with a brave and strong face and a strong front. But really, when I get to my office by myself alone, I sit down, I cry. Because I'm human. Sometimes we think our bosses or our leaders, they have it all. They really don't. There is also a moment of weakness all the time. Napapagod din yan. So, I think it's important for us to always recognize that it's not always roses, di ba? Kasi
Correct.
even during this entire my career journey, na-experience ko din yung masigawan on the floor. Client would scream at me across the floor. Ano magagawa ko? Titingin lang ako, alangan naman umiyak ako. Pagtakbo ko sa bathroom, saka ako iyak.
Right.
Kasi masakit yun eh. But next day,
Galing.
move on, di ba? It's another day, it's another journey. But over the years, I also learned how to manage that appropriately.
Right, right. I'm so happy na hindi mo tinatanggal yung pain of what you went through, but you're also providing the audience what you went through, and this is what I did about it. Honor me emotion mo. Because I think I don't want our audience to feel na you had it all, and you had it all planned out and panned out. Hindi talagang, and there's a village of people that supported you. Ikaw naman, Tonichi, what kind of support are you providing to maybe not all the time naman a woman executive, kahit yung basta DRs mo, direct reports mo, when they're going through their own set of burnout and pain, like how you support them?
So first of all, I make sure that they stop and take the necessary breaks that they need.
Wow.
Because sometimes you forget, like I have directs. I make it a point now that every year I would tell them, plot your executive checkup in my calendar because you need to do it.
Wow.
In the past, kanya-kanya tayo, di ba?
Yes.
Kanya-kanyang schedule.
Yes.
Pero ngayon, because I've noticed that over the years, hindi nila masyadong iniisip. And rightfully so, because they're younger.
Oh.
And it's important to us because we're more mature.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
So, I also want to make sure that at a younger age, for my leaders,
right,
they start thinking about that.
So you want their executive checkup on your calendar.
Yes,
nakikita mo.
I want to see it. I want them to tell me when they're going for
Not too
their
many
executive
leaders
checkup.
would do that.
I don't need to know
Right.
where they're going, but I need to know they will take it.
Ganda. I love that.
Yeah.
Very, very intentional talaga siya.
Yes.
Okay.
And sometimes, I also have teams where we say at 7 p.m., tahimik tayo. Huwag tayong mag-usap.
Sabi mo, wow.
Relax lang tayo.
Iba din yun, ha?
Oo.
Medyo, in
Natutunan.
this very busy and
Yes.
pressure-driven
environment that we're in. Ang galing that you want them to like take a pause.
Yes, and that's fascinating because it was one of my leaders who told me that. Somebody who was reporting to me said, of course you know him, Sly. I said, I've been looking for you since 7 o'clock. He's like, boss, it's a pause for us from 7 to 8. Pati ako hindi mo sinagot.
Oo.
But I respect that. Because
Oo.
they know when they need a pause.
Right.
Diba?
And they give back naman eh. I mean,
Yes,
I mean that is
oo.
a person that we're talking to, we know, I know that.
But yes. And I think more and more we do that, more and more we support that.
Right.
People around us appreciate it as well.
Right. And Tonichi, aside from being a wife, mother, and you're caring for yourself, you're a leader, I know that you are also busy with industry-related roles that you have.
Oh, I know.
My God. And I just want to set a tone do sa ating audience na maraming pwedeng gawin sa buhay. Napakadami. Can you talk about the role? Kasi you've had the role in the Call Center Association of the Philippines for some time, and then recently, you just got into the board of IBPAP.
Yeah.
And what does it mean to you to be part of this organizational group? And how do you intend to make a difference as well?
Yeah. So remember earlier I said that this industry gave so much to me.
Yes.
It created opportunities I did not even dream about. And for me, because I was so blessed to have had that, I want to make sure that the next generation of workers will have the same. And what better way to do it than be part of the industry bodies like the associations like CCAP and IBPAP,
Right.
who continue to strive to make things better, to improve the association, the relationships,
Yes.
the investments, and what we're going to do with the government, how we can all orchestrate a better community for
Right.
this industry. And that was actually a turning point in my life when I said, I want to be able to do this.
Right.
One of the things so I joined the association thinking, okay, I'm trying to figure out what to do here.
Correct.
And it came in 2015 when I was handling an account and there were 5 people who committed fraud.
Correct. Yes, I know this story.
And because of these 5 people, the client pulled 3,000
Jobs.
out of multiple BPO companies.
Right.
That was 3,000 jobs for Filipinos that we lost in a snap because
Right.
of 5 people who decided they want to commit fraud.
Right.
And of the 3,000, I had 600.
Got it.
So you can imagine thinking about what do I say to the 600 people who did not do anything.
Correct.
And tomorrow I will tell them that I'm sorry, but the client pulled out and you don't have a job tomorrow.
Correct.
And to me, it's just unfair. We've been building this industry, and because of 5 people, it's tarnished.
Correct.
And so I became super passionate about fraud prevention.
Yes.
And I've stuck to that since.
Yes.
And that's also the reason why, since 2016,
Oh.
it didn't pick up until, to be fair,
To be
it
fair.
didn't pick up until I joined Concentrix, because this is why the support of your leaders
Absolutely.
is so
Absolutely.
critical, because my leaders in Concentrix really pushed, and they even went as far as telling me, do you want us to call the other leaders of the other companies to encourage them to join?
Diba?
To join us in this
Wow.
movement. And to me, so from 2016 through when I joined Concentrix was 2022.
That's when it actually gained more
Yes.
traction than
And
ever.
imagine, I was on the verge of, okay, I'm done with this. Para
Right. Right.
ilang taon na, I'm trying to do this for the industry, and this industry is
Right.
not picking
Responding
it up. Yes.
even. Oo.
So I said, okay, I'm done with it.
I love
But
the story.
then, yun nga, my bosses said, we'll support you.
Galing.
Tell us
Wow.
what you need us to do. We'll email people. We'll call people.
Yes.
So when they said that reignited, the flame. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, let's do this. And since then, talaga naman it picked up.
I know, because whenever I am in industry events, you happen to be one of the speakers talking about anti-prevention, fraud prevention.
Yeah.
You've been active at it at least several times. I saw the story.
Yeah.
Oh, ang galing, ang galing. So you're still at it.
Oh,
We're
yes.
still fighting that fight.
Yes. So now with IBPAP,
Yes.
right, it just widens the reach as well.
Yes.
That's one. And it's not just fraud prevention. There are other things, because over the years, I also learned that one of my children is LGBTQ.
correct.
So my advocacy also added towards making sure that the LGBTQ team
Yes.
has equal opportunities within at least the industry that I move around in.
Love that. Yes.
It's sad. No? I was thinking about it. It's sad, no, sometimes we can relate to the advocacy or we can relate to these groups because it's happening to us.
Right.
But if it's not, will you feel the same
Diba?
as passionate?
Diba?
Yeah.
And then that's when you kind of pick up which area to really focus on. Kasi nga, you don't want to, this is so personal also in many sense. But take note, there are hundreds, thousands of people that are affected by the discrimination that comes
Yes,
with it,
yes,
right?
oo.
Tsaka it really requires a lot more education and acceptance at this point in time.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to ask you is about being a woman. You have quite an influence talaga to a lot of younger people, no? I just want to ask, how have you, bigyan mo kami ng example, how have you affected some of the, and I know some of the people that you coach, kasi gusto ko malaman nila na, okay, you're a mother, a wife, a mother, you're a career woman, you also affect the lives of other women, di ba? You're an advocate for that. Bigyan mo kami example even without names of people na 2 or 3 that you talagang super proud ka of people you've mentored, talagang naka-apekto yung mga teachings mo and your paradigm that they are in a very good place right now. There's a lot, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot.
Papipiliin kita.
There's a lot, but I would also say that it's hard kasi to take credit for their career journey because it is also possible na that's the power of storytelling, right? And that's the power why I like doing this.
Yes.
The power of being able to share even the simplest of stories can actually inspire someone and you don't even know it.
Right.
I remember one time, thank God for Facebook, right? I received a messenger from somebody who I used to work with back in 2004. One of my agents.
Okay.
And typically, in the production floor, I would go around while my system is booting up.
Okay.
And I would say hello to everybody.
Yes.
And I came across this person and she was like doing this to her head. And I said, what's the problem? She said, I just had a customer, so irate. And I said, okay, just get up and breathe because the next person you're going to talk to does not know that you had a really bad call.
Oh, wow.
The next call or the next interaction that you will have is an opportunity to feel better.
Nice.
And so I said, so just remember that after a call, it's a new call. It's like after a day, a bad day, it's a new day. Ganyan.
That's a great paradigm.
Every time. So this person sent me, many years later, sent me a message through Messenger telling me that she's in Dubai.
Okay.
And she's a manager. And every time she sees my posts, like I said, thank God for social media.
Correct.
Right? Every time she sees my post, she remembers to do that to her team. To remind her team that it's okay. You can make mistake. The next is an opportunity to do better. So she said that had a profound impact in how she dealt with her work at the time. And I felt like I cannot even remember it. I cannot even remember that moment. I cannot even remember where I was sitting,
Oh my gosh.
But I knew the production floor she was talking about.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But imagine, those short phrases can change the lives of people.
I love that story. Okay, I didn't know that story, but ang ganda. Talagang very realistic. And now I want to go to Concentrix because I know it is the largest employer in the BPO space in the Philippines. 120,000? 107,000 people, no? So that said, you as a woman, I'm sure, I know you're happy being with them. Bakit? Like, what do they do differently for a wife, mother, woman, career woman like yourself?
First of all, before I joined Concentrix, I was so sure that I only want companies that were significantly smaller than Concentrix. So everybody around me, I kept saying that, no, I just want to do something a little bit smaller and scale it up. That's the challenge that I want to have now.
Yes.
And then when Concentrix came along, everybody is like, akala ko ba gusto mo ng smaller?
Okay.
Sabi ko, di ba? I don't want large companies. I want the largest company in the Philippines. You misheard me.
Oh my God! Ang ganda. All right.
I know. But But going into it, I also thought,
Yes.
oh my goodness, I'm joining another company.
Yes.
They really sounded very good on paper. They're doing all these amazing things because I read about Concentrix.
Yep.
And I'm within the BPO space, so I knew how they have grown over the years.
Right.
So I said, okay, I wish that when I join, I don't feel like so small in this really big company, right?
Right.
And so when I joined, it was a completely different feeling. I felt like it was family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. In
So-
that large
Yes.
organization.
Yes, yeah. It's so large, but yet so intimate. Like
Wow.
it started with my interactions with the executive leadership.
Okay. Okay.
Which is truly a learning culture. Yung hindi ka mahihiyang magkamali, hindi ka
Wow.
hindi ka mahihiyang magtanong. Wow. I have a question, medyo stupid siya, but everyone is just so welcoming
Okay.
and they enjoy teaching.
Wow.
From
okay.
top down,
Okay. So it's a cultural
It
thing,
is
huh?
culture. Yeah. It boils down to culture. talaga.
Okay.
So that was amazing. to me.
Okay.
On top of that, the industry is evolving. As you
Tama.
know,
Yes.
we started like more of a CX, BPO, traditional chat voice. Now it is the Gen AI,
Yes.
the tech revolution again.
Yes.
And it's amazing that Concentrix is at the forefront of all of these things.
Okay.
And so the fact that, I am able to have the first dibs of what's
Exactly.
truly going on
Yeah.
with the customer experience space that I grew up in
Right.
and how it is evolving into this tech-driven,
Right before your eyes, diba?
tech-led. Yes. It's the world that my children will live in. That's why even if I don't want to learn it, I'm excited for my children. It's always like that, I guess, right? Like
Yes.
you're going to wonder, what will the workplace look like for the next generation?
Correct.
And right now, you kind of have to be able to see what that looks like.
Right.
And that in Concentrix, because it's advanced,
Right.
it allows me to enjoy the learning, the trials and errors, how we're doing it, and how fast, how slow, the mistakes, the learnings, and all of that. So that fascinates me about being in Concentrix.
Correct.
On top of that,
Yes.
you will know and you will notice that everything is really about the people. Ito yung totoong company na pag sinabing people-centered,
Right.
talaga siyang people-centered. Like, we have like a meeting, a call, we call it talakayan. Every month,
Talakayan. Wow.
every month, everyone is invited. Everyone is invited to ask questions and the leadership team will answer the questions bravely.
Wow. And how often do you have?
Courageously.
Wow. How often do you have the talakayan?
It's monthly.
Wow.
It's monthly. And it's amazing because it is during these conversations or these forums that we are able to, I guess, get new ideas from our employees.
Correct. Anybody across the Philippines can log into that call.
Wow. The question, of course, sometimes it's the same, you know how it is, right?
Yes.
But you will also get questions or suggestions na,
Galing.
that's a good idea.
Right.
So dun you will see, there you will value the meaning of diversity.
And I know that you are also personally and now professionally big on health and wellness.
Yes.
Yes. So I know you're a yoga enthusiast and practitioner for many, many years, right?
Yeah.
But what does it mean for a company like Concentrix to also think about health and wellness of employees?
It's a big deal because again, I really believe that it's cultural. It's also top down. Diba? If your team sees their leader na parang hapong-hapo na, di isipin nila, parang ayoko yung
That's
ginagawa niya.
That's true.
Diba? And sometimes it's your job to make it look easy, right? You have to be healthy so that you're there for your family and your team.
Right.
What matters most. That's the reason why you're working to begin with, diba?
Tama.
So it's important that you have an opportunity
Right.
to take care of yourself and do the same for your team members.
Right. Are there like top 2 or 3 programs, whether it be for the people, family, or health, na talagang that takes the cake in your head as a best practice, and that's why you love Concentrix?
So for family, for example, I'll give you an example. Not all BPOs have buses, shuttles. We have shuttles, but Concentrix have buses, as in point-to-point buses. Okay. And during the weekdays, our employees would, ride it to get from site A to site B, right?
Wow.
From where they're located to their site.
Wow.
During the weekends, when most of the employees are not using it, it's the family members who use it. So the family members of our employees can use those buses. Kasi those buses stop at major thoroughfares and like major malls.
Oh,
Diyan ang
wow.
pick-up points ng mga
Wow.
So during the weekend, even the kids, basta taga-Concentrix.
Right.
yung
Do they show an
kapamilya.
ID or
Yes.
something? Oh,
You're in. Yes.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. I mean, that
I
was
did
like, to me, that was amazing.
It is.
Oh, di ba?
Pretty
Parang
much so.
tama naman siya.
Oo.
Sayang yung paikot-ikot yung bus.
Yes.
Walang sumasakay. Eh, di
Yes.
pasakayin niyo yung gustong sumakay.
Tsaka can you imagine, that's 107,000 times your family members
Yes.
is the number of people that you affect. Sa times 3 lang, 300,000 ka na.
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
All right. Wow.
So, for example, that, we also have some programs to help us get fit.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
Meron kaming mga programs where,
Amazing.
we focus on our physical aspect naman.
Galing.
That also. There's so many things. It's so well-rounded. Like I said,
Nice.
sometimes magugulat ka yung, what if gawin natin to from an employee? And it gets to where it needs to get.
It
diba?
does. Tama.
And then people act on it. Even, so for example, nung bumagyo.
Okay.
This is a really good example because I was completely blown away by this company. Bumagyo, iba na ang bagyo natin ngayon. Ang
Yes.
bagyo natin ngayon, hindi na siya bumabaha hanggang dito. As in, ang dati, sasabihin ng employee, I cannot go to work kasi baha. Ngayon, ang calls na natatanggap namin is, can you rescue my family? So, after that entire storm, the typhoon that happened, when we all got back to work, we were thinking, okay, our BCP is not enough. Hindi na siya yung take people around, get them
Oo.
home, and get them back to the office.
Right.
Hindi na siya ganon. Or
Oh.
prepare sleeping quarters for them. Hindi na siya ganon. It's more now, what can we do in case we get a call who's asking for rescue?
Wow, next level to.
Oo, next level, di ba?
Oo, parang national level nga in some way or form.
While we were talking about it, I was thinking, pati yun, gusto nating problemahin, guys.
Wow, that's,
Diba?
there's a lot of heart there.
Yes, but the entire leadership team was thinking, yeah, because what do we do? If we're getting a call, we feel so helpless naman. I'm sorry, wala kaming magagawa.
No, exactly.
But there has to be something that we should be able to think of, innovate,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
And what we kind of thought of was
Right.
to create a heat map of where our employees live
Wow.
para, and this is where the technology comes in, right?
Right.
Para we know na pag bumagyo in the flood-prone areas, we know na saan
You can deploy.
alert
Oh,
namin
right.
dyan. So, we're
That's
ready
pretty
for
amazing.
it. Yeah.
Pretty amazing. May prompt question si Mr. Carlo.
Kasi
Ikakat nila yung
I'm
party.
carried away by how you're describing it. It seems like it's very ideal for organization that goes beyond profit. So the question is, what is the driving force of the mindset of the leaders of Concentrix to go beyond what is the usual, the standard? As long as you abide by the law, okay na eh. You don't have any more accountability beyond that. But
Technically.
it seems like you want to go beyond. Yung pangalan sa system, pasakay din mo, sila magagamit sa mga bots.
Oh, that kind of, ano.
Yeah.
Even integrating in the lives of Filipino people
Right.
that's being affected by their circumstances. You, kaya yung problema. It seems like consent is always there. But what is the driving force?
I think as a leadership team, and again, we hear this from our leaders all the time. It's not so much that we want to portray ourselves as the best company or the best paying high or what. It's not about that. It's about, sometimes it's simply about doing the right thing. Kasi you're in this country, you're surrounded by people, you're surrounded by communities. It's not about, papabibo ka, hindi. What's the right thing? Merong bus, gumagalaw, walang laman, di pa sakayin.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, I think that's the beauty of it. Sometimes we keep, and don't get me wrong, we keep challenging each other. Nagtatalo-talo din kami within our
Okay.
executive leadership team.
Right.
But we go back to asking, so in this scenario, what's the right thing to do? Diba? Sometimes it's not even what's the, what makes more sense from a balance sheet
Right.
perspective.
Hindi na siya yung economical value.
Yeah, because it's really, we believe that when you do the right thing, everything else will follow. Even when your employees are doing the right thing by saving and conserving energy, everything else will follow. Ganon siya. So, I think, if you constantly remind each other, because of course we falter, of course we make mistakes,
Right.
but when you kind of shake yourselves up and say, tama ba to? And yun yung sinasabi ko na, yun yung maganda, na parang we keep asking ourselves, tama ba yun? We're very rigid, for example, in performance management. Non-performer ka, ganito, ganyan.
Yes.
Dapat ganito.
Yes.
Pero our conversations are, okay, I get that. They didn't perform to the expectation, but did we provide? So again, it goes back to us. Did we provide them with the right
all the tools, the right environment.
Fair ba yung measurement na ginagawa
Right.
mo? Is it
Right.
a fair measurement?
Oo.
Will they have an opportunity to meet that expectation?
Right. Is it too high that it's so
Is it-
difficult already to
ganun.
meet
We
it?
ask
Right.
ourselves, upo na naman kami, iisip na naman kami.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and these things evolve.
Ah.
What our metrics were in the past, they're no longer the metrics now.
It's not the same.
It's always now about how are you adding value. Hindi na siya 90%.
Absolutely.
Wala na siyang ganun. How are you
Absolutely.
adding value?
Absolutely. I think the longevity of a company rests upon those key and material changes talaga on how you pivot talaga sa bagong mundo.
Yeah. And for example, all the changes that are happening in the US now, for
Yes,
example.
yes.
Right? All the changes happening in the US. Do we want to make a statement about, what we want to do as a company? No. What we want to do is what's the right thing.
Correct.
What we think is right.
Correct.
Diba?
Correct.
Regardless, ano ba, tama ba to? Magha-hire ka ng ganito? Ito ba yung dapat mong i-hire? Hindi. Everything has to, it's a conscious decision to do the right.
Galing. I love that. All right. It's so powerful. Just going to the topic also of actions that are being done by Concentrix, mayroon ka bang isang project inside the company that you are pushing more of because of a certain demographics? Yes? Okay.
So there are a few actually. So for example, the network of women. So we have the network of women.
Okay.
So the program it's really not so much to promote lahat women.
Right.
That's not the point.
Yes.
The point is we want to make sure that the opportunities
Tama.
are available to them and
Tama.
that they know it.
Tama.
Right? Kasi even if we make it available, if they feel like they are not fit for it, they won't apply. It's making sure that we encourage them enough to apply for it. They can get it or not. But the point is we want to empower them and give them the confidence that they can and they must.
Correct.
Diba? That's the network of women. 2 years ago when I joined, we were also thinking about ways na how do we encourage more PWDs to declare.
So passionate about this one. Okay. Oo, super.
How do we ask them because it is bordering with the data privacy thing and
Right.
but you want to be able to help them navigate through their abilities.
Correct.
So I was also telling my child na why don't you declare your disability?
Right.
Kasi then they know that every 30 minutes you need to stand up, you need to take a breather, and then you sit back down.
Tama.
Diba?
Tama.
I think
There's a stigma still ongoing, no?
Yes.
That being open about it. So pinopromote nyo.
yes, we're promoting that. We are actually going to the different schools. We are partnering, for example, with LaSalle in CEDEAS for the School of the Deaf. There's certain kinds of work where you don't need to hear and talk. And why not open that opportunity up for them? We also talk to some of our clients who say na we have to prolong, change some of the training curriculum so
Tama.
that it is customized.
Oo. It's
It's
more inclusive of
Yes,
those communities.
These are reasonable accommodations. Yun nga yung
Reasonable.
sabi. Yes, reasonable. And hindi naman tayo bend over back because even the PWD community, they don't like that. They want just the opportunity to
Tama.
be able to do their thing.
Tama.
Diba?
Tama.
So,
Yes. What about your thoughts on the LGBTIQ community? Is there something that your company is doing actively in that front?
yes, a lot.
A lot.
So these are our SRGs, right? So Special Resource Group.
Special
SRG.
resource group,
So-
SRG.
So we have LGBTQ, we call them Pride.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
It's the same. It's like just making sure that they have a network.
Tama.
It's really not so much that it's only the LGBTQ.
Yes, yes.
Because it means being their sponsor,
Yes.
being their advocate,
Right.
creating the opportunities, creating a safe space for them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
Beautiful.
think from that space, from that perspective, we do very well there.
Ganda. And it seems like you found your place under the sun, Tonichi. So that's beautiful. Any word of advice to young and upcoming leaders, whatever their gender may be, on how to navigate this pressure-driven life that we have? We did start off by saying that you are a wife, mother, and career woman. And of course, you cannot give what you don't have, so you fill your own cup. We went into, some of the great practices that you do as a woman leader and as a leader per se of a company of the largest employer in the Philippines. And then, of course, we went into the details of the great things that Concentrix does. And now I want to go back to the point of yung i-humanize natin ulit yung pagiging leader. Hindi siya glamorous eh. It came with a lot of challenges. Pero drawing from your amazing experience, one or two things that stands out that made you stand up constantly each time we both fell down, tatayo tayo ulit. What were one or two things that we can share with them?
I think, and I say this all the time, I was blessed because at an early age, I found what I was passionate about.
True.
And that's service.
Yes.
I find joy in being able to solve people's problems. I was a call center agent, right? I was in collection, so I would help them navigate through how do you space your payments so that may budget ka for the next one. And I didn't realize that until I was actually doing it. And so every time I come across employees who are absent, get sick all the time,
Yes.
when I have an opportunity to talk to them, I say, have you found what you're passionate about? Because if you're not passionate about this,
yes,
at the very least, be good at it until you find what you're passionate about. Kasi you don't waste your time doing something mediocre until you find what you're passionate about, diba? So while you're waiting to do what you're super passionate about, do whatever you're doing, do it well. Because that will pave the way for you to become successful in what you will choose to be passionate about. Again, I was lucky. I found what I was passionate about. I didn't even think about, the promotion. I was just happy to solve problems.
you are.
I was just happy like that. And then I got promoted. When I got promoted, sabi ko, gusto ko maging ganun katulad ng manager ko. So I tried to do better. And so every time, I just found myself just being happy. And then you get to a point where you question yourself. You question yourself, are you ready for this promotion? And I know a lot of people ask, am I ready for this promotion? You're never ready. You're always never ready, but it's a decision and it's a choice that you make. Once you sign that promotion letter, you have to make yourself ready. Diba? So find what you're super passionate about. And then later on, kasi for me, and maybe some will say, find your purpose and then make sure you're passionate about it. But for me kasi, I found my passion, went for it, and then over the years, I understood what my purpose was.
Woo! That is the way to end this beautiful podcast with that kind of statement. And it could not have been better than that. Wow! So I hope you enjoyed this particular episode. No other than Tonichi Parekh over here shared
Thank you very much
life.
for having me.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure. I think we will have probably a part 2 sometime in the future. If we have very passionate guests like this, I think we get a lot of wisdom shared and a lot of call to action stuff, that she kind of mentioned along the way. And I know people are thinking through that this life that they say difficult is not so difficult at all. You make it happen, just using your paradigm. So with that said, this is Breaking the Mold with Maria Ampeloquio of Radix HR.